What's up, YouTube? Demi here. I actually just recorded like a minute and I failed to press record and talked for a minute before I realized, so we're back to where we started. Welcome back to Legion League. This is the Chieftain that we were playing earlier. It used to be Tectonic Slam. I respec from Sword RT Tectonic Slam to RT Cyclone Chieftain with Ngamahu's Flame Abyssal Axe because it's just a really good skill for Cyclone, and I just really wanted to play Cyclone. So I did. That's the only reason. Tectonic Slam was fine. I just wanted to play Cyclone. So let's go run this T10 map real quick. Talk about the build. It's been very smooth today. I've been progressing up into my Atlas. I'm at new T10 maps at the moment and not really noticing any problems. I'm still using solo self-found trash gear. So this entire character, if you were to like buy everything that I was wearing, would probably cost you, I think Ngamahu's 6-socketed is like 25 to 30C. And then a Tabula's like 13C, so you're looking at 40 to 45 chaos for those two pieces, and then the rest of your gear is resist life rares with a little bit of damage if you can get it. So pretty cheap overall. I would say sub half an X at the moment. I think X's are like 120 now, something like that. I got my first Exalt drop today. I got a Carcass Jack drop today. I just beat 100% Shaper Atlas completion, whatever the fuck, and we've just been cruising. Cyclone is just so smooth, and with Ngamahu's to help carry the extra damage, because I don't have a lot of upfront damage right now. Like, yeah, sure, I have a 6-link, but it's not a lot. But Ngamahu's has a chance that whenever you hit something, it spawns basically the old Molten Strike balls, and they deal a lot of deeps. So you can kind of see them spawning behind me sometimes. I also hit level 90, I think I mentioned that. I think I'm at, how many challenges am I at now? 9 challenges. I'm doing good. I'm still enjoying Legion a lot. This character feels pretty good for clearing the monoliths. I don't have a lot of movement speed yet, which is the next thing I want to work on tomorrow. But it's like 3 AM right now, and I need to go to sleep soon, so I will do that tomorrow. But once you get a bunch more movement speed and maybe some more AoE, like I have a lot of upgrades I could make. We'll go over that when I show you all of my gear and whatnot. But it just needs to be more movement speed and more AoE basically, and I will be able to just keep on cruising into endgame. I think the highest tooltip I've seen on this is like, yeah, just under 300k, maybe a little bit over 300k depending. With just the Cyclone, and then the balls themselves are doing something like 20 to 30k damage each, and they can shotgun. They're little AoE projectiles that spawn out of your weapon whenever you hit something. They do a lot of damage, especially if you're just spamming a lot. Was that my egg proc? I got a fucking tripping on. Come on, man. I love this league. It's egg league, dude. I'm incubating so many eggs. I'm just spinning around, throwing meatballs at people. Playing a relatively cheap character. I will invest more into it later on, most likely. If you wanted to play Ngamahu's Cyclone as any other ascendancy, like Chieftain gets 50% Fizz to Fire conversion, and Ngamahu's gives the other 50%, so I'm 100% Fire right now. I have no Fizz. That's great. But if you want to play it on like a Slayer or something without that Chieftain conversion, you have to go, what's it called? Zoph's Blood Amulet to get the other 50%, which you can do. It's just a little bit more expensive. That might be later on if I wanted to make a Slayer next. But there's your map clear. Let's go talk about everything on the skill tree and whatnot. So the only real differences from the Tectonic version and this version is I changed the ascendancy. I had these 4 before for the endurance charge when you use a fire skill and then more damage when you consume them. Which, because I was playing Tectonic Slam, I was constantly consuming charges. I'm no longer doing that, so I took these 2 for the 50% fire pen, basically, and the chance to ignite doesn't hurt anybody. And then I took Tesalio Cleansing Water for the life regen, 10% fizz taken as fire, and then life recovery rate. If you've taken fire damage recently, which is anytime anything hits you with physical damage, you take that fire damage, so it's just like a good defensive buff. That 50% increase is like, how do I explain that? If I leech 20% of my life per second, by default, it turns it into 30% of my life per second. So it's a good multiplier. But the actual skill tree is very similar. I dropped some AoE, and I dropped like the sword nodes here in exchange for the axe nodes. Other than that, it's basically the same skill tree. I do, as Ngamahu's, because these spawn projectiles, you want some projectile scaling, so I picked up, oh my god, I don't have Iron Grip yet. Holy shit, I should have Iron Grip. Let me drop a life node. Okay, Iron Grip. So that your strength bonus, which 5% strength is 1% melee physical damage, so this is like 100% melee fizz right there. This converts that to 100% projectile damage as well, and it still scales my melee fizz. So that should have increased this damage by quite a bit. Then you take your Cyclone, weapon range, axe stuff, and over here as well for more weapon range. Still got Fire Pen here, still got some max res, less damage taken there. And then you take point blank for 50% more damage to targets at the start of their movement for your projectiles, which is again the Ngamahus. Other than that, it's a pretty basic two-handed character. You just take two-handed nodes, axe nodes, some AoE nodes. It's probably like just looks like every other Cyclone character ever. I still have these up here for some extra fire pen. I think I'm sitting at, where is it? 40% fire pen with no fire pen jewel, which is pretty solid. I also have a chance as a Chieftain to cover enemies in Ash for 10 seconds on hit, 20% chance on hit, and since I Cyclone, I hit really fast, and I spam Molten Strike balls, I hit really fast. So this gives us the ability to give enemies 20% less movement speed and 20% increased fire damage taken, which is a more multiplier to everything that I do, since again, I'm 100% fire damage. On even like my War Chief, my Leap Slam, they're all fire damage with a little bit extra LE from the rest of my jewelry. But the weapon, Ngamahu's 20% chance to trigger Molten Burst on melee hit. So your Cyclone, your War Chief, your Leap Slam, they all have a chance to proc that. It has 50% conversion and 20% fire pen on it, which is pretty nice. This is actually a relatively low DPS roll. Bad percent fizz, good attack speed. You can get better. And the way that the links work in Ngamahu's, because it's a skill granted by the weapon, right? Any of the links that you put in here apply to that. So I don't have this linked at all because you don't need to. You just need to have 6 sockets. You can have an extra 6 supports for your Molten Burst. So I have Conk Effect, Added Fire, Elemental Focus, Vicious Projectiles, Elemental Damage with Attacks, and GMP. So I fire 7 every time this procs instead of the normal 3, I believe. Let me look. Yeah, 7 projectiles per hit when it procs. It's pretty nice. It's like a little pseudo 7 link there. The rest of my gear is pretty much trash. So this is Life Resist. I got +1 weapon range here. For a Veiled mod, you can get +1 weapon range on your gloves as well, but I don't have that craft unlocked yet. So just Life Resist. This is Fizz damage, life, intelligence basically. This is Fizz, life, resist, some dex. Dex, life, resist, and then some weapon elemental damage. Boots, you're gonna want to prioritize movement speed because Cyclone scales off of how fast you can run. If you have more movement speed, you run faster, you know? You Cyclone faster, I should say. Other than that, life resist. Gloves, life resist, you get some attack speed, some flat fire to fizz, attack speed, whatever, all that stuff works. Belt, I'm still using both of the Deceiver. I should probably switch out of this soon, but it's life resist damage with nearby enemies are intimidated, which is a 10% more multiplier with attacks. It's like, I don't know if you can see the AoE, it's probably about this big. But anything that I get close to, I deal 10% more damage to because of the Intimidate. Flask, I'm using a Freeze Basalt, Movement Speed Quicksilver, Aziri's Promise for the extra damage and Leech, Instant Poison, and a Bleed Flask. Should be looking for Commandment of Fury on your gloves, probably Attacking Cast Speed on your boots, or Leech, whichever you prefer. Helmet Enchant, Cyclone damage. I don't have any of that crap yet because, you know, it doesn't really matter yet. I'm still only level 90 and I'm only in T10s. Other gem links, main 6 link, I'm using Cyclone, Melee Phase, Fortify, Infused Channeling, Rage, and Pulverize. Rage is just helping me go faster, basically. Other links, I got a Blood Rage setup for attack speed frenzy charges, Blood and Sand for the more damage, and Special War Chief for more damage when I place it. Herald of Purity for even more flat attacks damage, flat fizz to attacks, which is converted to fire. Leap Slam, Endurance Charge or Melee Stun, and Culling Strike, faster attacks, just for my movement skill if I land on something. Leap Slam like always stuns the first time you land on them, so you always get an Endurance Charge if you hit a pack, which means you have a little bit of fizz mitigation. And then I have Cast Damage Taken, Steel Skin, Increased Duration setup, which is actually not functioning right now because I leveled my Steel Skin to 20, and my Cast Damage Taken isn't 20 yet, so it can no longer cast it, but it's fine. I'll get that leveled up tomorrow maybe. And then I have a Herald of Ash for my last support. Seems to be working out pretty good. Characters like super budget, still cruising through T10s. When this links, I might use it if I can color it correctly. I need 4 red on it, which would be kind of annoying. But, I mean, other than that, we're doing pretty good. I have made 1 of each emblem, Vol and Eternal. I want to get 4 of them. Oh, wait, I have Karui now, too. If you don't know how to make a stack from L100, that's what you do. You just take it out and put it back into the stack. So I'm just missing 1 more. Either Mariketh or Templar Splinters to get the 4-way battle. I think the 4-way battle is how you unlock your 5-slot map device to get a 5-way battle. So I'll be doing that soon. But yeah, I don't know, I'm enjoying Cyclone a lot. It's pretty chill. It allows me to spend a lot of time talking to my chat on stream. If you're not following me on stream, it's right here, you should check it out. You can come watch me progress and like spam me with questions about why I'm not playing a different build or why I'm playing Cyclone, just like everybody else. Pantheons, I'm still using Stun and Life Flask, which I should probably change to this soon. I don't know. It really doesn't matter. Pantheons are just like whatever. Other than that, I think I will end that here. If you have any further questions, leave them in the comments. The pastebin snapshot will be in the description of the video as well. I won't be able to upload today's VOD or day 3's VOD. Day 3 VOD, I have to cut it into 2 different days because it was too long of a video for YouTube. I think it was like 8 hours, and they were like, no, this video's too long. Please make it shorter. So I had to re-cut it in half and upload it again. I'll get that done soon. But yeah, let me know how your Legion's going, how your drops are going. I've had 1 X, 1 Divine, and like 3 Tabula drops so far, I think are my most value drops. Other than that, just a bunch of garbage, basically. But yeah, I'll see you in the next video, and that'll be demi out. Thanks for watching. Sorry, I just thought about potential upgrades, and I forgot to mention all of these. You can get a better old Ngamahu's, Flat Fizz attack speed corrupts. You can get a Devoto's, you could get a Dureso's Salute Amulet, you could get a Carcass Jack, or a Bronze Life, or Belly of the Beast, or Calm's Heart if you wanted to use like a 4-link, 6-link Cyclone somewhere in your gloves, you know? You can get a Headhunter, you can get a Stygian with Life Resist, you know, stuff like that. Insanity Gloves for your Leap Slam would be nice. Physical is extra fire, Hysteria, crafted rings would be nice as well. But I don't have any currency invested in this character yet, so I really don't care. Tomb Fist would be good actually. You could replace your belt with the Stygian if you got Tomb Fist for the Intimidate Abyssal Jewel thing. Lion's Roar would be great instead of one of these flasks. You could use a Wise Oak for the Fire Pen as well if you have your fire res higher than your other resists. That would work too. But yeah, just some quick suggestions for upgrades. Better jewels, 4 prop life, triple damage jewels, you know.